Developer is making a big donation to Vancouver's Day Center. New at 6, how much he plans to give the city over the next 5 years to help get things up and running. Plus,
first of all, he's just making stuff up, but most importantly, the President of the United States is calling for the imprisonment of a private citizen.
Fired FBI Director James Comey firing back at the president as he promotes his new book. What he has to say about the president's recent tweet storms.
And the Portland Trail Blazers will be back in action tonight, hoping to bounce back in Game 2 of the playoffs. KATU's Genevieve Rayome is live at the Moda Center with what we can expect.
This is KATU News This Morning, on your side.
Good morning, everyone. 6 o'clock Tuesday morning, April 17th. Thanks for joining us for KATU News This Morning. This is a live look from the Chevy Equinox Live Drive. Mike Warner behind the wheel. Doesn't look too bad out there. A huge improvement over yesterday morning at this time. I'm Angelica Thornton here with Mary Lowe's. Hannah's going to talk about that commute this morning, but first we want to bring in Rhonda Shelby.
It was so soggy yesterday.
It was awful.
It's so nice this time of year, too. At just before our day breaks, we get these great views from all around the region. There's the one from the Inn at Spanish Head Resort Hotel camera. Looking to the northwest there, you can see a nice break in the clouds. You will see a day like this, I think, much of the day. Now, right now, we don't have any showers around the immediate metro area. It is 45 degrees, but I think we'll see a few pass through at lunchtime, 50 degrees at that time. Daytime high will be 54 degrees, and we are now headed for a drying trend and a warming trend. So we'll talk about that in 10 minutes from now.
6:01 right now. Those dry roads this morning helping keep things pretty quiet for most of us. We do have just the beginning of that I-5 southbound backup kicking in as you make your way down from Vancouver into North Portland, but your travel time isn't too bad. This live camera is right around Mill Plain. You can see traffic moving pretty slow as you approach the interstate bridge, but I'm only showing about 12 minutes right now to get all the way down from SR 500 to those Fremont Bridge ramps. And here's how 205 is shaping up on that northbound side coming from Clackamas. No delays so far approaching 84. Inbound on the Banfield, you see a few brake lights stacking up just as you approach the I-5 split, making your way into that inner east side.
All right, Hannah, thank you. 6:02 right now. Some neighbors in Vancouver are tired of zombie RV parked on their street.
KATU's Jackie Labreck is live in Vancouver this morning. And Jackie, this isn't the only one.
There's one parked a few miles from here. This one, though, has been here since January, and neighbors are tired of it. You can see it's probably not going anywhere anytime soon. All four wheels are off of this thing, and it's parked here along Northeast Ace near the intersection of 104th Avenue. Neighbors say nothing's happened despite a mountain of complaints they've made to Vancouver's Code Enforcement Office. City reps say code officers told the folks in the RV to move. They came back. When they checked back in, they found a different group was here. They told them to move on. And then when they came for a third time, the RV's wheels were gone along with the people living inside. The mayor says they are working to remove it, hopefully in the next
and I'm happy that something is being heard and done about it, and I'm just crossing my fingers that soon that this will be all taken away.
To make it more complicated, tow companies don't really want to take the abandoned RVs generally because things like asbestos and other sort of hazardous materials that are generally inside, it just makes them really expensive to dispose of. Still, the mayor says they are working to get it out of here, and hopefully soon. Neighbors say not soon enough. Live here in Vancouver, Jackie Labreck, KATU News.
Jackie, thank you. New at 6 now, a Vancouver-based developer is donating $300,000 for the city's new day center. Mark Osborne, managing partner at C.E. John, tells our news partners at the Columbian the company plans to donate $150,000 up front for renovations and $30,000 a year for 5 years to help with operating costs. The remodel will add showers, bathrooms, and storage for visitors to a former Fish and Wildlife building. It's off 4th Plain and Grand. The city hopes to open it in September.
Former FBI Director James Comey's highly anticipated and controversial book, A Higher Loyalty, is now on sale. He's now making the rounds talking about the book, and during an appearance on Good Morning America, he addressed President Trump's tweets accusing him of a crime and calling for him to be jailed.
That is not acceptable in this country. I hope people read the book and see why the rule of law is such an important value in this country, and key to that is that the president doesn't get to decide who goes to jail.
Comey also talks about criticism over his handling of the Hillary Clinton email investigation and whether he'd return to the Bureau under a different administration. You can watch the entire interview on Good Morning America right after KATU News This Morning at 7.
A federal judge says she will not allow President Trump exclusive access to materials collected in a raid on his personal attorney's office, home, and hotel room. She is now considering appointing a neutral third party to help review them. Michael Cohen was forced in court yesterday to reveal that one of his clients is Fox News host Sean Hannity. Hannity denies ever paying Cohen, only admitting to consulting with Cohen on some legal matters.
Back here at home, a new report from apartmentlist.com finds Portland's increase in multifamily housing will help maintain affordability. Data found from 2000 to 2016, more than $8 billion was spent on multifamily construction in the Portland metro area, ranking Portland fourth out of the top 25 metro areas in per capita multifamily spending. Researchers found that adding new housing closer to the urban core can soften growth and reduce commute times.
It's been about 2 weeks since the new 20-mile-an-hour speed limit went into effect on Portland's residential streets, and it appears it's not sitting well with some drivers.
So someone vandalized it in orange paint, and then the law-abiding citizens put the paint back up in black paint.
Over the weekend, vandals spray painted dozens of 20 is plenty signs in the Arbor Lodge neighborhood. Neighbors decided they wouldn't let the vandals win, so they painted a new message on the signs: 20 is law. They hope the new message will draw attention to the city's effort to prevent traffic deaths.
Washington County leaders are set to consider an exotic animal ban today after getting a number of complaints about a wildlife sanctuary in Hillsborough. A Walk on the Wild site calls itself a preservation establishment and houses more than 100 exotic animals. It used to be in Canby, but was forced to leave. Since moving to Washington County, a Walk on the Wild site has been hit with land use violations and complaints from neighbors.
A reminder, midnight tonight is the deadline to file your taxes or file for a 6-month extension. The deadline was moved from the 15th to the 17th because the 15th fell on a Sunday, and yesterday was Emancipation Day in Washington, D.C. If you live in Portland, another reminder, today is the final day to pay your $35 arts tax.
The Ridgefield School District will have new start times and school attendance boundaries in the fall. Our news partners at the Columbian report the biggest change will be felt at Union Ridge Elementary, where students will go from starting the day at 8 to 9:05 and ending the day at 2:30 to 3:35. Boundary changes are also being made between Southridge and Union Ridge Elementaries to balance out attendance and make transportation more efficient. The district says students will be allowed to apply for exemptions. Well, it's going to be a busy night in the Rose Quarter.
The Portland Trail Blazers are set to take on the New Orleans Pelicans in Game 2 of the playoffs, and a big concert is happening at Memorial Coliseum. Rose Quarter officials are asking people to consider keeping off the road and taking public transit, Uber, or Lyft to the events. Tonight's Blazer game tips off at 7:30. We'll check in with KATU's Genevieve Rayom, who's live at the Moda Center with a preview in just a few minutes, and Judas Priest is playing also.